In 1812, sailors and Coast Guardsmen displayed the fighting spirit, innovation, and boldness which defined the naval services. Those qualities live on today in 2012. They are displayed daily by the men and women of both armed services in their everyday missions. Since the Navy's founding in 1775 and the Coast Guard's founding in 1790, they have been, and continue to be, our nation's front line in war and peace, operating on, above, and below the sea worldwide. As America's away team, they are an agile and flexible force for good that is always ready and uniquely positioned to defend our nation's interests every day. Among the naval assets demonstrating that agility and flexibility in commemoration of the War of 1812 and the writing of our national anthem, the Star Spangled Banner, at Baltimore's Star Spangled Sailabration, the Navy's Blue Angel Flight Demonstration Team performed precision aerial maneuvers for a crowd of some 75,000 people, including 16,500 people gathered at historic Fort McHenry, best known for its role in the War of 1812, successfully defending Baltimore Harbor from a British Navy attack and the inspiration for Francis Scott Key's writing of the Star Spangled Banner. Making the Blue Angels' performance even more relevant to at least two people watching from the surface on the day before Father's Day was the connection the two had between the Blue Angels above, the Navy's presence all around them in Baltimore Harbor, and the Coast Guard, including the Coast Guard cutter that the couple watched the air show from.
I'm Chris Hiltz.
And I'm Dan Hilt. We live in Fort Mitchell, Kentucky. We are here in the Sailabration in Baltimore's Inner Harbor, and we just got off the Coast Guard cutter Sledge. We were anchored at center point for the U.S. Navy Blue Angels air show today, and it was fantastic.
Well, it was especially special because our son is Blue Angel number 2 pilot. He has been a Navy pilot for about 9 years, and we got to be here today on the Coast Guard cutter to see it up close and personal.
Today was unique for us because our middle son Jim is a Coast Guard officer, our son John is a Navy pilot, our youngest son Greg is a Navy veteran. He served 4 years as a Navy supply officer. So we had the opportunity to be here in Baltimore's Inner Harbor to watch the Blue Angels air show from a Coast Guard cutter. The national anthem was sung facing Fort McHenry, and we were looking at the Star Spangled Banner from the decks of the Coast Guard cutter. So there were just so many emotional components to today's show that it was really special for us. I hope it was special for everybody who saw the show.
This is our 4th show that we've been to this year, and they've all been fantastic, but this was so up close, and to see the jets that you could actually see the pilot in the cockpit was just great. It's exciting and it's always fun. It's just been a thrill every time we've gotten to see them.
We saw things that we've never seen before at any other air show because the maneuvers were being done right over our heads. It was really fantastic. My sons have been such a source of satisfaction and gratification in my life. I'm so proud of all of them that to be with 2 of them on Father's Day weekend is really a treat. And the ability to be with so many fine young men and women who represent our country in the armed forces is always a source of pride for Chris and me and for our whole family. So we're honored that John has the opportunity to represent the Navy and Marine Corps in a very public way, but we know that the men and women who wear the uniform are doing our nation's work every day and every night. So we're proud of all of them. We pray for our men and women in uniform every day, and we hope that a lot of people in the U.S. do the same thing. The fighting spirit, boldness, and innovation that our Navy and Coast Guard exhibited in the War of 1812 lives on today in the Navy and Coast Guard of 2012. We're proud of our sons for being part of that heritage, and we're proud of every member of the United States Navy and the U.S. Coast Guard.
Reporting from the War of 1812 Commemoration Celebration in Baltimore, Maryland, I'm Joe Cerrone, Navy Public Affairs.